Hello guys, Orvil Walcott here. In a moment I'm going to ask you to click on the link below to take action, but let me ask you the question. I want to deal with the objection of how quickly can I expect results in my business, because that's an objection some people may have. How quickly can I expect paydays of 1,200, 3,300, 5,500, even in some cases paydays of $10,000 per day? How quickly can that happen? Well, the question is, I can't answer that for you. You see, there are people in our business like Chris and Sharon, like Mark, who get very, very quick results, as in they get paydays of those numbers I've just mentioned within their first 3 weeks or month or 2 months. It may take you a bit longer, but that really isn't the question. It really isn't the question at all. The question which really matters is this: how serious are you about becoming financially free? Now, when it comes to this, when it comes to goal setting and what I call your financial forecast, your financial picture, you need to have a very realistic understanding of what's going to happen if you do not become financially free. I'll say that one more time. You need to have a very realistic understanding of what's going to happen if you do not become financially free. Let me explain what I mean by financial freedom. I'm not necessarily talking about someone earning 30 or 50 or 100,000, a month, even though that does happen. The question is understanding what will happen if you're not financially free. By that I mean this. Here are a few facts. Did you know that money you have saved in the bank actually loses money, or actually halves in value every 19 to 22 years? So instead to say you've got 50,000 in the bank, 100,000 in 19 to 22 years, it's actually going to be worth half of that. That's the first thing. The second thing is that recent surveys in the West show that most people who are on supposedly good salaries, let's call it 50 to 60,000, even $100,000, are 3 months away from being completely financially wiped out if they never got another job. Now, I could go on in terms of why most of the biggest companies, most of them are no longer doing pensions. They're no longer doing them. So the question, therefore, is you've got to understand that when it comes to creating your own financial freedom, in a way, there isn't really a choice. It's like you're on the Titanic. If you recall that amazing film with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, the Titanic, when it set sail, at that time was structurally sound. It was completely unsinkable. They said it was a ship not even God can sink. And I'm going to liken that to how most people think when it comes to finances. Now, though, eventually an iceberg struck the Titanic, and it was absolutely a matter of time before it sunk. Likewise, when it comes to the ideas most people will, which is having all their financial eggs in one basket. And by that I mean work for 40 years, hope to get a pension at the end, and then hope to retire on something which they can barely live on in the first place. The reality is you've got to understand that you have to build an alternative. You've got to build an alternative financial future. When you understand that, you therefore can understand the value that even if it doesn't take you a month or 2 or 3 or 4 months, you've got to have the mindset that this is something you have to do in terms of creating a financial future. And the system we have in terms of people like myself, like Chris, like Mark, like Carolina, many people who had either never done this before or never ever dreamed they'd have paydays of $1,250 and $3,500 and so forth. For some of us, it took a bit longer. For some, it took 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and so forth before consistently getting those paydays. It doesn't happen every day, but it only takes 1 or 2 times to get that level of return. But the key thing is, you've got to have that determination that it's going to happen, that this is not something, a game, that this is something which absolutely must happen for your financial future. So in terms of the question, how long does it really take? The question is you've got to be made up to realize that this absolutely must happen and can happen for you. And if it doesn't take you a month or 2, and if you stick with our system, it will, because remember, we have sales coaches who call your people for you, so you're not really even doing the selling. But it's got to have that mindset, which is, this is not something I'm trying out. I'm not trying out an online business to see if it's going to work. This thing has to work, and I'm fully dedicating myself to it. And you do that, then you absolutely will win. So go ahead, click on the link below. I look forward to working with you. Bye-bye.